So the objective of this class is understand web scraping and its advantage. That's the first thing. You cannot scrap everything though. You might fall into legal trouble as well. But using web scraping, you can scrap almost any website and pull the data that you would have, or the data that would be available in the website. Understand steps involved in web scraping. Use BeautifulSoup package and its function. We'll be using one of the packages called BeautifulSoup. And now you might ask me this question: that is BeautifulSoup the only package to scrap the web? No, there are many more functions or packages that are available, but we use BeautifulSoup because it's the most widely used. Hey Amit, good morning. And we'll scrap IMDb website. You would all know that in IMDb you have this movie list and then the ratings, etc. Right? So we'll scrap IMDb web page. We'll fetch streaming tweets from Twitter. Live tweets. We'll fetch live tweets from Twitter and then do some sentiment analysis on it, whether it's positive tweet or negative tweet. Okay, that's what we are going to do. And today's class will take anywhere between 2 and 2.5 hours. The last part of 30 minutes to 1 hour I'll keep for you guys. You can ask me any questions that you might have on the last hour. And yeah, that'll be it. Today, it's come to an end. The journey has come to an end. So if you have any questions in mind, please feel free to ask. We have almost an hour buffer. So what's web scraping? It's a computer software techniques of extracting information from websites, right? Now, for example, let's go to google.com, okay, and then I type finance. Here, right? See, this is one kind of web scraping. I mean, I can go and say, let's say, for example, IBM. And then you see all this information, right? I can scrap this. Or another example would be imdb.com. Now, here you can see this box office. There are so many other information here, right? I can go ahead and scrap this as well. I can movies. Let's go and check on movies. So this is running, right? And you can also use advanced filters here. Basically, all I'm trying to say here is that in IMDb list, okay, you get all this information. So, okay, we'll go into further. Now, these are the ones which are coming, and then it has its comments, etc. And how many minutes, 102 minutes, whether it's what kind of movie, that's comedy, action, drama, romance, and who are the stars, and what's the score, 61 out of 100, there are 5 reviews, so on and so forth, right? So if you want to, let's say, pull out the first best 100 movies of all time, you can just write a program and then pull it from there, which I'm going to show it to you. Most websites do not offer the functionality to save a copy of the data which they display in your local storage. We can only view them on web. Now, if I were to do this without web scraping, right, how would I do this? I would say view page source, and then I would go here and let's say, for example, teenage, right? TEENAG. Now here you see title and title of the movie, so on and so forth. See here some description of the movie. If there were to be no web scraping, you'd have to go to this website or just copy individual this thing, right? Copy this, put it in an Excel sheet, so on and so forth. That's a very tedious task, And with web scraping, you just have to write a piece of code, run it, and it's done. Now, if we have to store them, we'll need to manually copy and paste. That's what it's saying, if there were to be no web scraping. Imagine getting data from Google Finance page to know historic information about multiple companies. We can simply automate the process with few lines of code and get the desired result. If the information change, simply we have to rerun the code instead of doing it manually again. So, for example, in this case, right? In this case, Google Finance. See, there is nothing as yet on. One second, Google Finance. Okay, there is. It should have been there. SAP. Okay, net profit margin, etc. It is not coming here, so I think I opened the wrong one. Anyways, I'll show that to you, right? So basically, in this case, right now it's not pulling the data because I think I pulled the wrong code. Or let me just open it. We'll see that in some time, right? So all you can do is, instead of SAP IBM, if you want, let's say for example, if you want Infosys, right? All you can do is write Infosys, and then it will give you Infosys data as well. So it's pretty easy, right? For as to if you want to review the data, instead of going here and then checking for all this information, the range 52 weeks, and then key stats, net profit margin, operating margin, so on and so forth. Instead of typing SAP, IBM, one by one, you can get all this information in one place. Now, legality of scrapping. Well, scrapping is legal as long as no attempt is made to change the article. One, should not try to override restricted access or play with security mechanism. Many times, it might so happen that the web page might not allow you to scrap it. There are some security mechanism those times, right? And those might be critical information. You're not supposed to try and override this those security mechanism, otherwise you can get into trouble. But 99% of the chances is that 99% of the time will not fall into trouble, because if it is there in public domain, it's there for everyone to see, right? And so you can go ahead and scrape it. Respect the fine line between collecting information versus stealing it. Now, that's a fine line, like I told you, right? If it's in public domain, it's there for you to see the data and maybe try to make some meaning out of it. If it is allowed in websites, copyright disclosure statement that legally protects the website information, right? You'll have to go through this as well. If you are seriously making an application, I mean, for your own personal use, no one will question you. But let's say, for example, if you are creating a web application of your own, and let's say you're going to Flipkart, Amazon, Jabong.com, and then you're trying to compare the prices of let's say Nike soup, right? So in those cases, you'll have to go and read the legal the disclosure, copyright disclosure statement, etc. of each of those websites, and see whether this is actually allowed or not, right? Because at the end of the day, you are making something for commercial use, or you're trying to sell something based on someone else's data, so that might amount to stealing as well. So you have to be very careful about that. But let's say, for example, you're creating your own application for your own internal purposes, then no one will care. What is visible in the pages are mostly regarded as data allowed for scraping. I mean, go to any website, right? Here, let's say, for example, go to any website. Everything can be scraped here. Everything, right? Go to IMDb. Everything can be scraped here as well. Ugly side of illegal scraping. One case involved in online activities who scrapped the MIT website and ultimately downloaded millions of academic articles. Okay, this guy is now free on bond but faces dozens of years in prison and $1 million if convicted. So you cannot do this, right? You cannot just scrape website, and let's say, for example, you have all those websites, right, where they sell movies, etc. You cannot just, they will be security protected for sure, but you cannot just barge in there and then download all the movies as well. That's also possible using web scraping. So that's illegal. Why web scraping? Many websites do not provide API, unlike Facebook, Twitter, etc. We'll see how we do it through API, and we'll see how it is not done through API. Web scraping is the only alternative to get data from them. I mean, if it is Facebook and Twitter, they give you a handle, right, API handle, using which you can access the data. But if it is not, Facebook or Twitter or some of the other social networking websites, it's hard for you to scrap the data. Even LinkedIn gives you an handle. So a quick, easy, and free way to gather huge data with considerable less effort, right? I mean, look at this. How many lines of code you would have written? Actual line of code would be anywhere between 5 to 10. That's it, right? So it's very easy to scrap website. If done manually, only way to keep them is in text format, right? Which again needs to be converted into JSON or XML format for further processing. So if you are doing it through web scraping, you can, while pulling the data itself, you can convert it in any format that you want, JSON or XML or whatever. Of course, it saves manual effort of copying and storing the data. Now, web scraping Python has numerous libraries for approaching this type of problem, many of which are incredibly powerful. Like I told you, right? I mean, BeautifulSoup is not the only meal, and it's not the last meal. There are numerous packages available. There are numerous methodologies. You can build your own scrapper as well. There is a host of other ways, but we are using BeautifulSoup because that's the most widely used. Popular web scraping Pythons packages are pattern, request, Scrappy, and BeautifulSoup, Mechanize. We're just going to talk about one of them. Okay, in this course we'll be covering BeautifulSoup, which is most popular, but these packages can work together too. Now, it's a typical HTML structure. Okay, I'm going to walk you through this. Now, there's nothing here to explain. Okay, this is the typical XML structure, and let me open that. Let me open it for you. This is a typical XML, right? Or HTML, sorry. This is a typical HTML. Okay, so now what is it that we want to do? Let's go and see. This is, we know HTML, right? Table says, how do you define the table? TH means define header cell in a table. TR means defines row in a table. TD define a cell in a table. I mean, even if you do not know that, that's fine, because this is how you define your HTML. Basic structure H4 is simple table, and then TD is row 1, column 1, row 2, column 2. This is how you define, right? So on and so forth. If you run Debian or Ubuntu, you can install BeautifulSoup with the system package merger, and you also know this. Just know this is how your HTML looks like right now. We'll scrap this as well. Okay, and this is how the tables looks like in HTML. And how do you install it? Sudo apt-get install. By now you know as to how to install in Debian or Ubuntu, or for that matter, if you do not know and you are using just PyCharm, you know it, right? As to you go here, I'll just show you as to what I've done. See, I've installed BeautifulSoup 4. Okay, just click here and say BeautifulSoup. Here it is. This is the one. Okay, so if you have downloaded the source tarball and wants to, this is how you install it manually. Refer to avoid any installation related errors. Just go here and then install it if at all you are facing any problem. Now, so this is okay. Watch this carefully. Okay, all I'm doing here is I'm importing from BS4 import BeautifulSoup. Okay, this is the package, and then I'm importing in this package. There are more than BeautifulSoup, so I'm importing only BeautifulSoup. I'm opening this HTML simple.html, which I just showed you. Simple.html. This is a simple HTML file, and then putting it into soup. Okay. Now let's print the soup and see as to what it looks like. You got it? Makes sense, guys? See, this is soup. That means you have everything here. Okay. And then if you want to see what are the options available, you can also do this. So basically prettify will, if it is not aligned, right, if it's not properly structured, if you do prettify, it prettifies it as well. See here, what's the difference between these? Let me copy this for you, right? Now look at this, okay? Can you see the difference between these? Okay, this is just print soup, okay? This is guys, can you see the difference and tell me as to what's the difference between when it just says soup, you know, it prints exactly whatever has been given here, okay? Now when I do prettify, what's the difference here? Look at this, there is some difference, right? Subtle difference. Look at the formatting. See here, P align looks like this, and then B ends here, P again, and then again P ends somewhere else. Now look at this. Inside HTML you have head, right? Inside head you have this, and then you have body which is parallel to head, and then inside body you have P, paragraph, align center, which is again aligned properly, right? So basically when you do prettify, it just aligns it properly. Okay, so now that's what it's saying. You can just print soup and then it will show you whatever it is. Now there are a couple of things that can be done here. Okay, I'm done with this one. Now all I'm doing here is in my beautiful soup I'm passing title simple web page, okay, and then I'm saying soup1, which is this one, dot title dot name. It gives me title, okay, because this soup I want to find the name of the title here, or else what I can do is print, if I say soup dot title, right, this is the soup, this is for the entire HTML, okay, I get the complete title. Guys, am I making any sense here? Are you able to understand? If you look at this, right, okay, if you look at this, this is the title, right? So if I say soup.title, it's giving me completely. Yes, okay, thank you, Sayyid. Now, if I say soup.title, it gives me all this thing. Now let's go a step further and then say soup.title.name. Okay, let's put this as a delimiter here. So when I, okay, sorry, I had to uncomment this. See, when I just say soup.title, it's giving me this completely. When I say soup.title.name, it just gives me the name of the title. Okay. Now, if I say see, it's extremely vast. Okay. So I'll walk you through as much as I feel is important, and then the rest you can take it forward from there. Soup.title. See here, okay. So interestingly, if I say soup.title, it gives me this one. If I say soup.title.name, it gives me only the title. But if I say soup.title.string, it gives me simple web page between tags. Make sense, guys? Is it easy? I mean, let's say if you were to do this in without BeautifulSoup, how would you do it? You'll have to use a regular expression, go to the title wherever it is, right? And then see wherever you have greater than symbol, see wherever you have less than symbol, pull out everything inside the web page, right? So on and so forth. But in this case, it's not necessary. You just have to know what you need to pull. You just have to put everything into BeautifulSoup, and then you say soup.title.string, you get this. And then if I say soup.title.string.next, you get this, so on and so forth. We'll see that now. Now you see a tag object corresponds to an HTML tag in the original document. Now if you do like this, right? Soup.BeautifulSoup, you are passing this, and then you are saying tag equal to soup.b. Now soup.b is in your tag. Now when you say type tag, it says BeautifulSoup.tag. Okay. Yes, Amit, this has been used, this has been created, BeautifulSoup or web scraping has been created in order to scrap data from websites, right? So they work with HTML, yes. All websites. I mean, at the end of the day, your website has to be in HTML, right? Some form of the HTML or other. Okay, okay. And then see, a tag may have a number of attributes. You can say tag of class. When you do a tag of class, it will give you price. Okay, something which is already there, I'm not going to write it. Okay, in this case, what I've done is tag equal to soup of b, this soup.b, and then when I say tag of class, it will give me price. When I say tag of attributes, it will give me class and price. I mean, what are the attributes that this tag b has? Class and price. Okay. You can say tag.string like how I have done here. If you say title.string, it will just give you the text. And then again, you can say soup.b.string, and it's the same thing. Okay, it will give you this is the comment, and then type of comment is BeautifulSoup.comment. Okay, nothing much, no difference here. And all supported operations of tag objects, you can go and see your, whatever is the operation that can be done on tag object, or for that matter, just go to BeautifulSoup and then see as to, what can be done with BeautifulSoup. It's a vast package. Okay, it's a book in itself, basically. Now this is what I've done. I've done soup.title. If I've done soup.title.name, soup.title.parent. If I do this, okay, I have not done this parent. Now you see. Now what is the difference between soup.title and soup.title.parent? In soup.title, I just have title. If I say soup.title of parent, it will go a step backward to head, and it will pull out everything from head to back, this head. Make sense, guys? Okay, let me explain. If you say soup.title, it gives you this one, right? Title to title. If you say, what's the parent of title? Head, right? See here, just look at this. After you have prettified it, what's the parent of your title? Is head. What's the parent of your head? Be HTML. Okay, let's do one thing. Now you see this. When I said soup.title, it gives me this. Soup.title.parent, it will give me head, from head to head. If I say soup.title of parent.parent, it will go to HTML. From HTML to HTML, it will give me everything. Is this what that's being done here? Guys, make sense? I hope it does, okay? Because it's pretty easy, I mean, explanation wise. Okay, thanks Deepesh. So that's how it is, right? If you see title, parent, and then you want to see what's the name of the parent, so basically all you do is go here and instead of parent.parent.name, what will this give me? It should give me HTML, right? If you remove this, then what should it give you? It should give you head, right? Or if you say title.name, it will just give you title, right? But if you go back to parent, above your parent you have head, and above that you have HTML. So that's what it is. Access to a particular tag by passing the name. You can do a soup.p. Okay, it will give you. Let me just show that to you here as well. It will just give you your first this one. Okay, see here p. It's just giving you this. Okay, your first paragraph. When you say soup.p, because everything is there inside soup, okay? You have put everything inside soup, so you say soup.p, it will give you this. That's what it's trying to say here. Now, if you want to find everything, the next question you might ask is, how do I find everything, right? So, all you have to do is, you have to say soup.findAll of p, and then it gives you all p, 1p, 2p. That's what we have, 1p, 2p. Okay. So, to go to parent, we've seen that, we have seen this, title.next, and then there is one more function wherein you can use next also. I'll just show you quickly, soup.title. Okay. What does this give me? It gives me title. If I say .next, it gives me simple web page, right? If I say here title of next, when I just say soup of title, we'll see. You see, when I say soup of title, it gives me this title. But when I say soup of title, which is this dot next, it will give me this. I can do one more dot next as well. Okay, and then there is nothing, so it will not give me anything. Okay, here, and then I can say soup body p dot next. So in that case, what it will do? It will go to p and then it will go to next. So it will give me this. Okay, and then soup p dot previous. So if you are in this p and then if you say previous, it will go here. So it's very simple. I mean, the syntax is very simple. Soup.p.next. Again, it's the same thing. You know, just go to the next, this one. I mean, next paragraph, whichever is available. So let's do that once and then quickly move forward. Soup.p. Okay, and then I say next. It says first paragraph, right? Dot next. The first time, now let's go here. The first time I go here and then say soup of p dot next, it gives me first paragraph, right? If I say next of next, from here it moves on till here, and then it says hello students. You see here, soup.p.next, for the first time, p's next is first paragraph. Its next is hello students. That's what it's printing here. Okay. So basically, those are simple statements or syntax that's available for BeautifulSoup, and again, that's a package in itself. So it has lot inside it that I can explain in 3 hours. So please go ahead and explore BeautifulSoup. You know, it's extremely interesting. And it's easy as well. It's extremely easy, okay? But it's just that you have to spend a considerable amount of time in understanding as to what BeautifulSoup can do. Once you have understood that, right, the syntaxes are simple, everything is simple there. You have to know just how to use it. Now, if you say soup, HTML contents, it will give you HTML, complete HTML. If you say HTML body, it will give you just between bodies from here to here. if you say head, it will just give you head, right? To go to the next sibling, you can also do, soup HTML body dot p dot next sibling dot next sibling. I mean, that will be from one p to another p. How do you traverse? Okay, let me show this to you. Next sibling. You see here, soup HTML body p. Where does it take me? Soup HTML body p. It takes me here, right? And inside that, next sibling. Now this is my sibling, and then if I go on to my next sibling of that next sibling, then it takes me to my basic HTML, right? It takes me to my second para. Here is, you see, this is basic HTML. This is first para, which is the next sibling of p, and this is the next of next sibling. That's what it shows. Okay, so that's about it. And then you also saw that what's the difference between prettify, right? That's what I explained initially itself. Here, if you go and see, if it is just print soup, it gives me this. If you prettify, it has proper HTML structure. That's what it's trying to say here. And then you can just print soup, which will print you everything, basically all the HTML. If you prettify, that's what you have seen. We can pass different filters to each API using methods like find and find all. Yeah, you can filter as well, that we'll see. We can pass the below type, string, regular expression, list, boolean value, or a function. Okay. So let's say, for example, in this case, right, BeautifulSoup will perform a match against the exact string we pass. If you say soup, and inside this soup, if you say find all of B, it will give you a list of objects, everything that matches B, right? It searches for all B tags in the HTML document. It returns a list. And then let's say, for example, you want to pass some kind of regular expression. So in that case, all you have to do is you have to say re.compile and then whatever starts with B, right? So it will just give you this. Okay. And another query used to find all tags with letter L is present or not. You just say re.compile this one, and if you wanted to use regular expression, you can use regular expression here as well. Okay, and then you see HTML title, wherever you have L available, it just prints it. If you pass in a list, BeautifulSoup will allow string match against any item. So in this case, right, find all A or B. This is like it will find out. See, there are multiple instances of A that it has found out, and there is one instance of B. So basically, it's like an A or B. It will find out both. I mean, in the sense that it will find both. Or it's like A plus B, whichever you want to think of. And then if you say for tags in soup.findAll true, it will just find everything. I mean, all the tags. Okay. So here it goes. See here, it will find all your tags. Okay, starting from HTML to your PB, whatever is there. See? Okay. It's just the way the BeautifulSoup has been made, right? There's no logic to what I'm doing. It's just I'm just trying to show you the functionality of BeautifulSoup. That's about it. We can pass an element to a function as an only argument. We can functions with return true. See, if the argument matches and return false, otherwise you are just creating a function. You're passing the tag, and then you are checking whether that tag has attributes class and also has attribute ID. So in that case, right, if I say soup.findAll class and ID, if I send this, I get this output. With whatever tag you are passing there, it will check whether it has class and ID. This has both class and ID, and then it's printing all these three. Okay, so that's there. And powerful find all. The find all method is one of the most common methods in BeautifulSoup. We have seen how to find all. If you just want to find one, it's find. If you want to find multiple, it's find all. It looks through a tags descendant and retrieves all descendants that matches your filters, right? It looks out into everything. In our cases, when we did find all, for P, it got us both the P's. If you do find, it'll just get us one find. Examples: find all title. Just look into this, right? Find all P, the title attributes argument, name arguments, tags as argument, right? And then you have keyword as argument. This is more like you're passing for ID, you're passing link to, and then text argument here, and then limit argument. It's like a where condition, right? You just want 2 lines of record or data, right? This is how you do find all A limit equal to 2, and then recursive argument. So you're setting recursive equal to false. So the first time it finds this one recursive, it finds title, it just pulls you the data. If you set recursive equal to true, it will recursively go and pull all the titles that's available. Again, it's the same thing. Okay, I'm not going to explain to it. So when you say find all of A, it just finds out A. If you just say find of A, it's just one record here. Okay. Now you have other methods as well. You say find all next, find next. It's similar to find.next. Okay, soup.next, right? It's similar to that. So you have find all next, find all previous. It's again soup.previous and soup.next. Next sibling here as well. So you have methods for this as well. Okay. See, it's an extensive function which has been which covers everything from start to end of how to scrap a website. And then prettify, we have already discussed it. We have formatter equal to minimal, and we have formatter equal to HTML. What is the type of formatter you want in prettify itself? And then you have get text. If you do soup.getText, it will get you everything here in this case, right? Okay, this is one more interesting thing. See here, I got whatever text is there in their HTML. What are the text? Simple website, first paragraph, hello students. This is basic HTML 2, right? These are the text inside that HTML. So I got everything here. Okay, this is how I get. Now there are other ways to format it as well. If I say strip equal to true, basically what it did was, I just put a delimiter here, and then instead of getting everything in different lines with the number of spaces, I got it in one places. Okay. Now with this, it will be easy for you to manipulate the data, right? So that's what I've done here. I'm just stripping all the spaces and lines. So, and then efficient soup strainer is an efficient way of parsing HTML document. Only parses tag, that is search, and ignores everything else. So we'll see as to how soup strainers work. Allow us to choose which parts of incoming documents are parsed. Does not work with HTML5 leaf parser. Okay, and it takes the argument same as find all method. Now here, okay, I have soup strainer example here. Find all. Okay, we'll see that. I have a soup strainer example as well that we'll see. Or in this example, right? BeautifulSoup open. Okay, this is just prettify. It's not an example of soup strainer. But soup strainer, using soup strainer, right? You can do whatever you have done what using find all, right? Whatever you have done using find all or find, you can do that using soup strainer as well. So find all is more of a regular expression, right? And soup strainer is something which is for your beautiful soup. About parsers, BeautifulSoup automatically picks the best parser. It thinks it can parse HTML document. We can pass 2 arguments to BeautifulSoup constructor, and this is how it is, right? BeautifulSoup, HTML objects, and parser name. This is how we can pass our parser name as well. And BeautifulSoup ranks the parser in the below order, right? LXML is number 1, HTML5lib is 2, HTML parser, built-in parser mentioned as HTML is 3, BeautifulSoup. This is an example, and then there are slight differences using different parsers for a particular HTML, but almost at the end of the day, you'll have to choose as to which you want. Otherwise, you can let BeautifulSoup choose its default parser. Okay. So this little advanced. You don't have to worry about it. You like what I have done. I am letting BeautifulSoup choose its own parser. Okay. I'm not asking it to choose anything. Now, we'll scrap one website now, reddit.com. Now in reddit.com, there are a number of URLs, there are a number of things that people have written here, and then all these URL are rated based on user comments, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the 10 top URLs from here using Scrapper. All I have done is I'm loading HTTP whatever www.reddit.com, and I'm opening it. I'm reading the HTML. I'm putting that HTML in my BeautifulSoup. I'm reading my HTML using BeautifulSoup now. And then all I have done here is that I find A and href. Now, if you go here, now you see this A and href. Okay. For each of this, there is A and hyperlink reference. So what I have done here is that I say soup find all A. First of all, I am finding all the A's. Okay, A. Yeah. Okay, let me. See here, it's pulling all the A's here with limit 10. Okay, otherwise it will be endless. You see this A, this is one A, there is one more A, www.reddit.com, ask science, so on and so forth, till I have 10, right? So it's just printing that for the first time, and then what I'm doing is for links in this tag, get only hyper reference. So what it will do is it will just give me the link of 10 available URLs, which is here in my reddit.com. Make sense? I mean, how easy was that? I mean, this is hardly 2 lines of code, like 3 lines of code. And then you are able to scrap the website to pull out all the URLs available there. So that's about inspect the page. And then if you want to see as to what are, if you want to see the source code, you can just right click and then say inspect element, or you can also do view page source. And then here you go, you have the complete page source. It's not formatted, but if you want to format, you can just pull this and then you can prettify it. You can just pull this BeautifulSoup and then soup.prettify. If you do that, it'll work. It will print properly in this case.